Now, we know that memory works three major ways. Firstly, it works in short bursts. Secondly, that if we review, it can be maintained. And thirdly, that as we get older, it does not have to get worse, it can improve. But what about the actual mechanism of memory itself? Memory works by linking, by associations. So that if I say to you the word music, this will bring to your mind all kinds of memories, all kinds of associations. Memories are made of this. Now, the Greeks knew about these associations, and they worked out a series of little mnemonic systems, as they called them, for remembering all kinds of different things. They're the same kind of systems that the stage magicians use, that the mental wizards use. And I'm now going to teach you one of those little systems. It's called the number rhyme system, and in this system, you take the numbers from 1 to 10, and next to each number, you place a rhyming link keyword. The rhyme, obviously, is similar to the sound of the number, so you have, for example, 1, gun, 2, shoe, and so on. Now, next to your numbers and your rhyming words, you place the words that you are asked to remember, and you form linked images between the rhyming words and those words you have to remember. These linked images must be imaginative, perhaps humorous, certainly absurd, definitely exaggerated. They must enable you, in other words, to clearly get a picture in your mind of the link that you're forming, so that you can, of course, remember. Now let's try a few of those. Say we have the number 4, and we're asked to remember the word shell. What's the rhyming word for 4? The answer, door. Now here you have to make an image which you can remember. So you combine door and shell. Try imagining, for example, that your bedroom door is not a bedroom door, but a massive shell. And that as you walk into your bedroom, you are walking through a major shell. Now make sure that that image is clearly seen on your inner eye. Next, the number 7, rhyming word heaven, and you're asked to remember lever. You might here imagine yourself with a gigantic lever desperately trying to break into the doors of heaven. Now make sure that that image is very clear in your mind. Next, the number 2, rhyming word shoe. You have to remember the word plane. This is an aeroplane, so imagine your shoe with 2 enormous wings so that you make your shoe into a flying one. And again, try to hold that clearly in your inner eye. Number 9, the rhyming word is vine. The word you have to remember, train. Perhaps you could try hanging trains off the vine itself instead of grapes. So you have a large vine with trains hanging off it as fruit. Number 8, gate. Here you have to remember the word matchsticks. Imagine that that whole gate is actually made of gigantic matchsticks and that they're on fire. Number 3, rhyming word tree. The word you have to remember, leaf. This is a dangerous one because it's almost too sensible. So what you have to do is to make it absurd. You take tree, strip it of all the leaves, and put one gigantic leaf on the top. Next, number 1, rhyming word gun. Word you have to remember, tar. Imagine that gun turning around and spraying masses of tar from out of the television all over your living room. Next, number 6, sticks. The word you have to remember, moon. Here you might try imagining the astronauts trying to land on the moon and being completely prevented by all those sticks sticking up and getting in the way of their landing craft. Number 5, rhyming word hive. The word you have to remember, hair. You could perhaps here try remembering a gigantic beehive hairstyle with lots of bees coming out of it and bothering the person underneath the hairstyle. And then finally, number 10, hen, word you have to remember is field. Now again, this could be almost too sensible, so make it absurd. Have a tiny, tiny field in which you have placed an absolutely enormous hen. Now I want to test you on those. So again, take your pencils and try to write down the rhyming word and the number that I gave you, and the word that I asked you to remember with the number and the rhyming word. So I'm going to give you the numbers, you then write down the rhyming word and the word that we connected as an image. First then, number 2, the rhyming word and the image we connected with it. Next, number 7. The rhyme should be comparatively easy for you to pick out, and if you're having difficulty, check quickly through the alphabet and then put the word that we connected as an image with it. Number 10, put down the rhyming word and the image connected. Next, number 8. Rhyming word and the other word. Number 6. If you have any difficulty with one, don't stay on it. Go on to the others. You can always go back a little bit later. Number 5, the rhyming word and the word with it. Number 3, number 1, number 4, once again, first the rhyming word and then the image that we connected. And finally, number 9. Now that you've completed those, check your own answers. When you're checking these, give yourself 1 mark for the rhyming word, 1 mark for the word that you've connected with it. So you'll mark yourself out of a total of 20. Well, how did you do? I imagine that you probably did a lot better than you did in the first test. Well, the reason for this is that in the first one you had no system at all, which your mind was groping around for those lost words and was almost literally in a mental void, a mental vacuum. In the last one you had a system which was related to the way your mind works. You were able to link things together. Now so far you've only had one small system, but there are a large number of others, and these others enable you to remember things like lists of up to 100 and sometimes even up to 1,000. They enable you to remember names and faces. They also enable you to remember dates, shopping lists, telephone numbers, almost anything that you want to remember. These systems are outlined in various books, and it's certainly well worth learning them and learning how to improve your memory. The point about the systems is that it isn't actually they that enable you to do the remembering, it's your mind itself. The systems reflect part of the mechanism of your mind. It's your mind that does it, especially when you let it know how.